A NASA study found that you were 96% less creative than you were as a child. So, an experiment conducted by them says that the children from age of 4 to 5 were 98% creative. Same experiment 5 years later, 30% of them were creative. Same experiment again 5 years later, only 12% of them were creative. Same experiment now conducted on adults, it says that only 2% of them were creative. So, where did all the creativity go? Did it just vanish? Your fiber in you never goes away, right? With that note, hello everyone and welcome to impactHut Learning. I'm Hanusha. In this video, we'll be taking over how you can rediscover and bring back those your old day creative thinking into you. Let's get this going. Starting off with the first point, it is divergent thinking. Divergent thinking means thinking without any prejudice, any constraint, or any judgment. To put it simply, divergent thinking means thinking without any boundaries. So, is there any way where you can improve your divergent thinking? There are two ways which I am going to tell you today. One being listening to music, and second being engaging in any physical activity like walking, jogging, running, and whatever which you may please. A Stanford study says that 81% of people were more creative when they were walking or running on a treadmill than people who are sitting idle. So, whenever you're going to sit for brainstorming next time informally, let's do that in a very active manner rather than just sitting in a table and discussing. Moving on to the next point, which is let your mind wander. So, as kids, we must have all had those crazy dreams and imaginations, right? But eventually it dies down. So, one of the best ways to focus on solving a creative problem is to let your mind wander. So, a Stanford study again says that people who were asked to sit idly in between their tasks, they did better than people who engaged in in other activity during that middle time. So when you're brainstorming next, so don't just sit down and think. Let your mind wander, let it zone out, and then you will be able to come up with very effective solutions. Moving on to the next point, it is very quite interesting point as well. Think like a kid with a kid. So, as I told previously, your 5 year in you never goes away, correct? So, whenever you're thinking, for sometimes think it along with the kid. The idea behind this point is that this will push your creativity beyond the way you are able to think or just write on a piece of paper. So, and another important point with this that don't deviate a lot in the creativeness of the child. You should not deviate a lot as well. So you should know where to draw the boundaries and you have to get the perfect outcome which you want to. Moving on to the next point, which is thinking of the best case scenario. So young kids actually they care less about how they are perceived. Rather, they always think about how their solution should become. That is important, right? So this is very good for creativity. So studies have shown that when you immerse yourself in a joyous doing of an activity versus an anxious mulling, you tend to do better. What I mean by here, so say a film director. So the film director doing a story by himself will be a better output. Rather, say imagine if there is someone on his back telling, okay, complete the story, complete the story. In that time, it's not gonna flow naturally. So the joy the joy you attach with the process is more important, and that will indeed improve your creativity. Talking about this point on thinking about the best scenario. So during your next brainstorm, take some time and think about the best scenario, like how this will go right. When it go right, what will happen? So this will eventually will make you less deviant from thinking about the other thoughts about the worst case scenarios and the following consequences. Our brain is like a monkey, correct? So when you deviate yourself from the thing which you want to, you tend to develop on the non-necessary things. So next time, always think about the best scenario. So these are some of the ways where you can improve your creativity. So we hear over and over that kids are more creative than adults, right? So, but don't let yourself forget that you are a kid once too. While it may be difficult to get those years back, but you can certainly recover some of that creativity. With that, thank you everyone for watching this video. And if you like our content, please like and follow to our social media channels.